Hey, Fit Fam, this is your girl, Olandina Ballin, and I am the Fritter Woman. I'm here with my sister, Trey Ballin.
Hey.
You can follow her on Instagram at the Fitter Sisters 3.
Yep.
And you can follow her journey. So she decided to join me today for our special New Year's edition.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year,
guys.
fam. Happy New Year. So, sis, what are you thinking about this new year?
Oh, Lord. That's when everybody wants to make promises that either that they can keep or they can keep. Can or can't.
They're trying, sis. They're trying. Don't be
Which
too
is
hard.
always good. But be realistic. Be realistic.
Set some realistic goals,
Start
right?
a little bit low, and then add on to it, and then it's like, okay, I can do this. I can.
I agree with you because now you guys know I'm a gym rat, and I call you guys the New Year's resolutionists. They come in, crowd up, fill up the gym, and they're going hard. I'm like, yay! And then you all leave within I think 4 weeks. I give 4 to 6 weeks, and then they disappear.
Give them 2 months. Give them
2 months? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give them 2 months. And then everybody disappears. I'm like, what happened?
Well, it's good for me because I'm like, all right, now I can get on that machine because
Exactly.
there's too many people in here. I'll see you next year.
I got to do a show on gym etiquette for the newbies. Okay, you cannot sit on the machine and post selfies of yourself on Instagram. That drives me nuts.
Usually they just sit on the machine. On their phone. I'm like, are we working out, or
Are we?
Are you just comfortable and you just want to sit here and relax and look cute? But,
Exactly.
hey, you know what?
I saw one young lady, and I don't know who she is, but this girl got on the treadmill, ran for a little bit, had herself on her phone, videotaped herself running,
That's crazy.
and then came off.
See, I'm clumsy. I would have fell off, rolled, backflipped, and then I would have tried to look cute. All right. I'm not trying to play myself that bad.
So, sis, today I'm going to celebrate or bring in this new year a little bit different.
Okay.
I'm going to be anti-New Year's resolution. I'm an anti...
And why is that, sis?
And why is... Because there's a lot of people walking around. Everybody wants to start these New Year's resolutions, these promises. And you said it, just like these huge lists of things that they want to do. And it just becomes overwhelming.
It does.
Because they feel like they have to set up these new promises, these new things, new year, new me, and they get so overwhelmed. And then when they don't meet those goals, they get disappointed.
You get frustrated.
They get frustrated. I get frustrated if I sit there and put all these things on my plate and then feel like I have to succeed because I've told everybody that I'm going to do this. And now when you're not reaching those goals, you feel like you fail. And then you're just right back to the same thing. And you're just like, you know what? It's March and I didn't make it. And next year.
That's why I say baby steps. Start with something little, see how that goes, and then add to it. And then by the time you look back, you're like, wow, I accomplished a lot. Versus you have this huge 150 list, and they're like, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to go to the gym 24 hours a day. I'm going to drink water, eat fruits. I'm going to stay away from any type of carb. I'm like, come on.
Come on now. It's not realistic.
And then after that, you're like,
it's not realistic.
Yeah, and then you end up craving everything, and then you want everything, and then it's like, oh, and then you back where you started or even worse. So
yeah, you start binging. You binge on whatever it is that you just took out and ripped out of your life. You ripped yourself away from sugar. You ripped away that person that you're not supposed to be with, and you've decided I'm not gonna do this ever. I'm a survivor, and then you just fall off. But here on Muscles and Stilettos, this show is all about sharing tips and strategies and stories to help you stay on your course, because we both know, my sister and I, we both have different journeys, but both of our journeys have the same goal, to be our best selves.
Yes.
Do we know that this journey is tough? Like, my journey has not been easy. Her journey hasn't been easy. And we know that to be realistic, we need to set up a plan instead of this list of resolution, this list of promises. Because what I've found, and it took me a while to figure this out, resolutions are a list of promises without a plan. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but there's no plan. I'm going to quit sugar. Okay, how you going to do that?
Yeah.
I'm
going to get to that. I'm going to play it off like I know what I'm doing along the way.
I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
I am going to go to the gym 7 days a week. Okay, how you going to plan to do that if you've got a full-time job, you got children at home, you might be taking classes? Well, how exactly is that going to happen? It's a list of promises that we've been, our tradition is make this list of promises, and you'll figure it out along the way instead of just saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to make up a plan. Where when you have a plan, it's a series of verbs, action words, and
Yep.
you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, how, by doing this, I'm going to do this, how, by doing that. So today we are going to be anti-resolutionists. So I was talking to some of my girlfriends today, and I was like, look, I'm going to be anti-resolution. They were laughing, and we were just talking about the things that we want to establish for ourselves. And I'm talking to my friends, and I'm like, you know what? And this is not going to be in any order, but by talking to my friends and just being here with my sister, and I have other really strong friends, your tribe, you got to look at your circle.
Yep.
What do you think?
They always say the people that surround you is pretty much a reflection of you in a way. So yeah, it when you have positive people around you, it pushes you. It pushes you, and it's like, oh, girl, you want to be at the gym? Oh, I'll be there with you. Oh, girl, you want to do this? And it's helpful, especially if you want to stay on track. Because sometimes people can do things on their own. It happens.
Yeah.
And then other times they need the help of other people around them. You always need some type of support, some type of push. And you help each other out.
Exactly.
You know?
I agree.
Things happen.
It does.
Things
like
happen. So
in the gym, I'm really good with training on my own, but I had to enlist the help of a coach because I needed assistance to take me to that next step, to help me push to that next rep, to go heavier. And in life, just in business, I've surrounded myself with like-minded women and men that are in business, that are successful, so I can have that support. I have the support of my dojo, the people around me, the support of my family. So I find that you have to really look at your tribe and see who in your circle is draining you, pulling from you, and who in your circle is actually pushing you forward. So instead of sitting down making this list of promises, step one, look at the people around you.
Yep.
Check your social circle, your familiar circle. Listen, they might be blood, but they may not be the best for you.
yep. Who's
You know?
adding to your life instead of taking from you?
Exactly.
So
I remember I went to see Oprah speak, and there was a gentleman by the name of Mark Nepo. He said something that was so profound. He said, you have to ask yourself, how has that person allowed your spirit to grow? Like, that's how you can dictate. From that point, I'm like, that's my litmus test. Have you helped my soul, my spirit to grow? If the answer is yes, I can keep you in my circle. If the answer is no, I have to start to distance myself from you. It's hard though, right?
yeah, it is.
It's-
When you were used to having certain people in your life, it's kind of like just a routine, and you're just used to that person, and it comes to a point where you actually really have to step back and see where your life is going, and feel that, listen, you're going this way, and I'm going that way, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you don't have to be around a person, but probably not as much, But it's good to know that you need to grow and grow for the best of you to be a better part of you. So I don't think
Yeah.
there's anything wrong with that.
No, it's not. But it is hard to kind of start distancing
Yeah.
yourself from people that you're used to, because then you hear, oh, you're the same person. You've changed.
You act like you all
You
that.
act, you act like you're all that, and then you're sitting here like, but I'm just trying to grow, and I want you to grow with me. But if you're not growing with me,
Yeah.
then there's a point where you have to start to distance yourself, because we're obviously going in two separate ways.
And there's no disrespect to the
No.
other person. It's just you doing what you need to do for you. So,
Correct.
and I listen, I do what I want when I want. So you're not going to tell me anything. I mean, if you cool and we're chilling, we're fine. But if you're doing something else, my friends, they know me. You're doing something and that's not what I do.
Yep.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
When
okay.
you finish doing what you do,
do
I'll
it,
see you later.
then I'll come back.
I'll see you for holidays or birthdays and things like that.
Yeah.
So, if you're somebody that where it's like you're doing what you're doing, it works for you, but it's not the best for me, you're not going to really see me as much. But usually I keep to myself. I'm usually around my family a lot of times.
Yeah.
We push each other and things like that. And, pretty much most of the people in my life, everyone's busy. Everybody's
Yeah.
grown, have family, and they just taking care of their own. So
Yeah, so you just learn to.
So it's easy. It's actually good. You can easily phase out. Oh, so you've been busy. Don't worry. I want to
Don't listen to my
make
sister.
time for
She's
yourself.
Make it
Meanwhile,
sound.
you giving yourself an exit strategy.
That is good. Look for that exit strategy. So now here's step number 2 to this plan of being an anti-resolutionist establishing an anchoring statement. I went to a women's conference a couple years back, and one of the presenters was talking about this anchoring statement, fam. And the anchoring statement was something that corporations use. And what it does is it gives them a goal. Like this year, our theme is to bring in as many clients as we can. So whatever they do is always that centering theme. Any activity, any plans, whatever it is that they do is around that one centering theme. So I thought about it. I was like, I need an anchoring theme. I need a centering theme. And I came up with one for Fit a Woman. And I realized that it changed every year because your goals change. And I said, not only do I want this anchoring theme for my business, but I need an anchoring theme for myself. So last year was all about being connected and being balanced, right? So, just looking for something just to keep me connected.
Yeah.
And to keep me in balance in terms of work life, fitness life, and family life.
Yeah.
Making time for you, making time for Frank, making time for the family. And so that's still part of my themes. But this year, I decided on something different.
And what is that, sis?
Well, sister, let me tell you. I want to focus on being bold. I want to really focus on being bold, fam, because I know everybody out here, and if you guys have any comments, please feel free to drop a comment here, and for myself and for my sister. But I know when my physical presence is bold. I got purple hair.
Yes, it is.
Got purple hair. Be quiet, sis.
She's the sweetest person in the world. Sweetest. You can come up to her, say what's up. Do not disrespect her. Yeah. I'll be off to the side eating my imaginary popcorn, seeing what she's about to do. I'm like, do not do that. But besides that, listen, say what's up, say hi.
Say what's up, say what's up. But I find that I'm bold in my appearance, like purple hair, I've got the cuts in the sides, and I wear bright colors, and whatever. I've got my muscles, and I'm a bold person physically, but I feel like I'm not bold in every aspect of my life. So by bold, I don't mean loud, because I think a lot of people think bold means loud. And you got to be out in the public eye and just everybody got to see you. But bold meaning just like brave and whatever it is that's different for you. Maybe you're someone that doesn't wear dangling earrings. You always wear studs. So tomorrow you decide you're going to wear some dangling earrings. That's bold for you.
Would you say kind of taking you out of a little bit of out of your comfort zone, but in a good way? Would you say bold in a way like that?
Exactly. Taking yourself out of your comfort zone, but at the pace you want.
Yeah.
At the pace you want, at the pace that's comfortable for you. So I'm bold in certain respects because I'm comfortable in those areas, but I'm not bold in every area because I'm not comfortable in all those areas.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah,
not being bold enough certain times. Somebody says something and it's like, I should have said that. But then you didn't. And then you think about it later and it's like, why did I say that?
Exactly.
Because I know that'll happen where it's like, nah, I don't want to be rude. Or no, you always think about the repercussions. People are crazy now these days. So it's kind of thing, you pick your battles. But then there are times that, you have to stand your ground. You have to say something and speak up and do something a little out your comfort zone. But something nice where it's like, oh, I never thought of doing that. But you know what? I like this.
Yeah.
I
never thought about having frog's legs. So let me try that.
You can try that by yourself. And then it ends up, and then it ends up you trying something else, and then you look at yourself and be like, ooh.
I was in a business meeting and we were discussing a plan, and I'm listening to the people in the meeting, and one person was just like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I'm going like, oh my gosh, I want those same things too, but I didn't even think to ask, because I felt that I'm not at that place to ask yet, but they were just so like confident
knowing
in
exactly
making
what
that
they
demand as to what they want. And it wasn't cocky, it wasn't nasty, it was well within what they do. But I was listening to them. I'm like, you know what? I need to be more bold in certain areas. And in some areas, I'll speak up. And, if I see somebody being wrong, I'll speak up. If I feel like I'm being wrong, I'll speak up. But there's other areas I feel that we need to be bold. So that's going to be my anchoring statement. So I want you guys to think about what your anchoring statement would be like every time, pretty much your hashtag. You know, what would be your hashtag or what will be your hashtag for the year? Be bold, be connected, be strong, be powerful. And your statement doesn't need to be very long. Honestly, it should be around 2 to 3 words. And I just think of it as a hashtag. What will be your hashtag for the year? Because the reason why I say this is because these anchoring statements are what is going to help you, fam. When we're struggling with our challenges, and you will, when you're struggling with the challenges, when you're struggling to meet those goals, and you will, you need that anchoring statement. You need that, oh, hell no, this is not going to happen because I'm going to be bold, right? Oh, hell no, I'm not going to give up because I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be courageous. So what is your anchoring statement?
I got one. I think hashtag bold, beautiful me. I
I
like
like that.
Simple.
Simple.
Simple, straight to the
Hashtag
point.
Bold,
Beautiful
beautiful
me.
me.
Yeah.
So, fam, if you're watching this, what would be your hashtag? If you got it, drop it here below, and we will share it with our Fit fam. Okay. The next thing I think we should do. One of my girlfriends told me about this one. She writes a letter to herself every January 1st.
Oh, cool.
And then reads it at the end of the year, December 31st. This is my homegirl, Tamika Duncan. She's Dr. Duncan. She's actually a doctor of physical therapy. The name of her company is called Vitality Sports and Rehab, and we are good friends. And she's part of my tribe. Like, she's one of the women that I Marco Polo with almost every day. This is what I mean about connecting with good people and being a good tribe. But this is what she does. She says, I write a letter to myself, and I literally describe where I am physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, socially. Like, she writes where she is in her life. And once she does that, she's able to say, okay, I write this letter. And at the end of the year, I look at and I see what has changed, what has occurred, what has my growth been. Because I was like, that's a really cool thing. I said, I'm going to have to do that tonight. Like,
I don't know. Shout out to Miss Duncan. That's
shout
a cool
out to
idea,
Dr. T.
so.
Dr. T.
Yeah.
But, like, I think that's a dope idea. Like,
Yeah, it
dear.
is. It is. Because you can actually look back to see if, like you said, if anything's changed or if you're actually still where you were initially, and then you can see from, okay, what needs to change for me to get to the next step, if there is a next step, whatever you need to do. So it's kind of cool to see what your mindset was a year from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying the same thing. I'm like, because it's interesting. We evolve so much. We change so
Yeah.
much throughout the year. But we tend to focus on the things that we didn't achieve. You know, we look
Yeah.
at, oh, but I didn't get to do this and I get to do that. But we
And
don't look
appreciate
at
the stuff that we did.
Yeah.
Did achieve. I know.
You
As
know?
human beings, that's what we do. We focus on the negative a lot of times instead of the positives. And there are a lot of positives if you actually look and be like, well, I didn't do this, but I did that. You know, and that's something where we have to reset our minds and think more positive than negative.
And that's all about our conditioning. We're going to
Yeah.
do a whole episode. And I'm actually bringing my mom on. We're going to bring mommy on.
Oh, no. She'll tell you as it
And I'll
is.
tell you, we're going to be bringing her
That's
on.
definitely bold right there.
Exactly. That is be bold. That is the epitome of be bold.
Bold, yeah.
But I think we just so focus on what the things that we did not achieve, and we don't look closely at the things that we achieved. And I think if we were to really sit down and reflect on it, we would see that we've achieved more than we thought we did. And the things that we didn't, we just weren't ready for them yet. It doesn't mean that's never going to
That's
happen.
okay.
It just
Yeah.
means it's not going to happen right now, or it's going to happen in a different way.
Yep.
Because I definitely did not see this happening. Being on Strong Island Radio, this was not in my sights last
Sometimes
January.
it just happens that way. The path, it ends up making its way for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did I end up here? I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be here.
Exactly. And it feels comfortable. It feels comfortable. And I love it because we're able to talk to each other and share with one another. So here on this show, this is Muscles and Stilletos. Thank you for joining us today. And my guest today is Trey Balland, my sister.
Hey, you got to show the shoes, girl.
Oh, I got to show y'all my shoes. Can y'all
Yeah,
see
look,
it?
look,
Hold on,
look.
hold on.
You got to show it. There you go.
Muscles and Stilettos.
That's a
Can y'all
workout
see
on
it?
its own.
I know, right? Right here, there's a
Looking at
workout. Thank God it wasn't leg day. There we go. Ooh.
Those are nice.
Thank you. And I got to give a shout out to my girl, Jamie, personalized by me. That's her company. She's a fellow teacher, fellow educator, and she
Cool.
does this as well. And muscles and stilettos. And she's got my hashtag at the Fit Woman on the back. It was chilly in here. There we go. Yeah, she's my
look,
home
look.
girl. Yeah, I'm gonna have
Showing
to
off
show-
the muscles.
I,
You see
well,
that?
I put some work in those. I put some
Listen,
work in them.
You work hard.
I work hard.
Might
I'ma
as
show
well
'em.
it. Show what you got.
So, Muscle and Stilettos is all about sharing tips and strategies and connecting you to wellness professionals and connecting you to other people such as yourself that are going through this journey of wellness. And I wanted to welcome you to our New Year's.
Thank you.
Our
Thank you
New
for
Year's.
having me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
To our New Year resolution or anti-resolution. We're going to be New Year's anti-resolutionist.
And it doesn't have to be negative.
No,
Positive.
it could be positive. It could be positive. There's nothing wrong with that.
Anti-good. Anti-good. See?
Exactly. Just anti-mindset of the resolution.
There you go.
So, the next thing we said we would write a letter to ourselves. So some steps that we've gone over is writing a letter to ourselves so that we can see on the 1st of January and we read it at the end of the year to see how much we've grown. So that's one way. Establishing an anchoring statement for the year, meaning what's going to be your hashtag, what's going to be your theme for the year. You know, if I was a theme song, so I remember Shaft used to be popular for the guys. So what would be my theme song? Or so for you, in this case, what will be your hashtag? Examining your circle, examining your social circle to see who's around you, because a lot of times those people will either pull you across the finish line or they will drag you and keep you from achieving your goals.
And they won't look back.
No, they won't.
So was somebody right there? Oh, no.
Exactly, after they finish crushing your little dreams, So these are steps on becoming. The reason why we're doing this anti-resolution, New Year's resolution movement is because I felt that the resolutions are just a list of promises. Whereas when you make a plan, it is a list of action steps. What am I going to do to be successful in my goal of doing whatever it is that you want to do? My goal of being my best self. Anything that you do should be in the goal of being your best self. Whether it's being healthier and whatever healthy means to you, that definition means to you, and being happier, being more at peace, finding your purpose. Whatever your best self is, you should have a plan of action words and not just a list of things that you wish and hope for. So, last two steps are monitor your thoughts and your words. Really,
That is a big thing.
yeah. To think about what you say and really think about how you think.
Because it does affect you emotionally and physically. Yeah.
Because, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, when we are just so quick to fall into negative self-talk.
Tear ourselves down and other people down along with it.
Correct.
Miserable people like miserable.
I was listening to it.
Misery everywhere. They drizzle that misery everywhere. I'm not happy. I'm gonna make sure everybody is not happy. I'm like, wow.
Like a little chef.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
just sprinkle it around. They just show it and they share it.
Yeah.
So when you're miserable, it shows, and it's in everything that you do. If you are in a position of leadership and you're a miserable person, believe me, your employees.
Yeah, you're gonna feel it. We all have that in our work environment. You have that person
Yeah.
or persons where it's like, what's really going on in your life?
Yeah.
When you come in here, I had a good morning. I woke up. I'm looking cute, and you just come in here with that dark cloud. Want to be disrespectful? Want to come at me? And I'm like, really? Is it really that serious? And you really think I'm like, what's really going on in your life that you have to come in here just miserable 24/7? Do you have no control outside of your household? Like, I don't know what it is. And
Yeah.
if you feel that way, keep it to yourself. Don't share. I know sharing is caring. Something like that. Keep to yourself.
Keep your negativity and all colds to yourself.
Yeah.
But it's true, because when we're in certain positions, your positive and negative energy won't stay and just confined into its one space. You either permeate and just share positivity, or you can share your negative energy that people don't really want. So by monitoring your thoughts and monitoring your words, for example, like, a lot of times after a long week, people are like, hey, how you doing? You're like, I'm tired. I notice for myself, anytime I say I'm tired, I feel even more tired.
I used
I,
to always hear that all the time. So
I'm
I guess you
tired.
got a lot of yourself. I feel great, even though it's time. Like, I
But that's
don't.
the thing. I'm like, well, how do I change that? Do I lie and say I feel awesome, even though I don't feel awesome? So I'm trying to find a different
I'm
way.
well.
I'm
I know
well,
some people
right?
they'll be like, I'm well, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm trying to come up with different ways, fam. Like of saying, instead of saying I'm tired, I'm trying to think of I need to be re-energized. I know I need some rest.
yeah.
I need rest, but I'm well. Just coming up with a more positive way of saying
Switch it
certain
up a
things.
little bit.
Yeah, because we end up we say it often, and then we say it all the time. And I
Yeah.
noticed one time I said it, I'm like the person that was saying it to, I was like, that's not good energy to be sending out to
No.
someone.
They're looking at you like, I didn't ask you for all of that. I just
Exactly.
asked you if you're doing well. You telling me you had a miserable day and this, that. I'm like,
I ask you for all of
yeah.
that. I mean, I ain't go like that, but it's true. Sometimes people, hi, how you doing? And they're going, oh my gosh, the worst things have happened. You're like, oh, I don't want to receive this.
Sometimes you're fine. It's like, all right, well, what happened? And other times it's like, let me just start my day off happy. Catch me a little bit later
when I have more energy.
And then
I can
sometimes
take.
sometimes you end up that I definitely believe like if you have really bad energy or whatever it is, you feel like you absorb it.
Yeah, I feel
Absorb
tired.
it, especially if you have a lot of light around you, and then somebody else has a lot of I would say darkness around them or whatever that's going on. You feel like they just absorb whatever from you, and it's like, why do I feel sluggish right now? I just felt happy before I talked to this person. What did you do to me?
They weren't monitoring their thoughts and words. They were just,
So usually
pushing
what
that
I'll
on
do
you.
is just I'll try to like, okay, I see what's going on. Just don't absorb it and just try to radiate what you have and try to,
Correct.
maybe make, say something that made that person's day a little bit better.
Better. Yes. It's true.
Sometimes, you could say that one thing and it can make the biggest difference and you wouldn't even know.
It's true. Just saying a smile, just anything like that will help. A smile, a hug, if you feel that close to the person, give them a hug and be like, hey, I'm sorry. But just monitoring our thoughts and our words, I think is very, very, very big because our words and our thoughts are our energy. We are energy.
Yep.
And if we are speaking negative things and thinking negative things, then those are the things that we're going to attract. It's inevitable. But if we think in positive ways and surround ourselves with positive people and limit our contact, you can't avoid negative people.
No.
You can't.
They're all around
but if
us.
you can, they're all around us. And honestly, some of them are there for us to learn from. We're here to learn and interact. So we can't exactly shut everybody out. But you can limit your contact time or really look at the person for the situation and not judge them by that, but just look at their situation and just say, look at them and care from a position of just understanding. Sometimes people just need an understanding ear. So that's the number 4. So number 1 is to, the first, in no particular order, write a letter to yourself so you can really see how far you've grown, where you've come from. You can also, the second thing is to create some kind of anchoring theme for yourself. Create some kind of anchoring theme, some theme song, hashtag for yourself. Examine your tribe. We were just talking about, again, it comes back to that, comes
People
back
that
to your
you
circle.
surround yourself with. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That takes a big part. Monitoring your thoughts. Be mindful of what you're thinking. Be mindful of what you're saying. Be deliberate. That's the word I'm looking for. Be deliberate. Anytime you find, if you can identify 3 words that you tend to say that you say over and over again that are negative or they kind of block you, there are things that we repeat in our head all the time. Like I said, one of mine is I'm tired, and now I have to be like mindful of saying I'm tired. Find other ways of saying that. Or I'm going to try. I don't like that one either.
I'm going to.
I feel like maybe the universe will just throw it my way and it'll work out. No, I want to say something else. I want to come up with different ways of saying that. And the last thing I want to share with you guys, and it really goes along with what I was saying about my anchoring thought is, we have to be bold. We have to be courageous when we establish this plan as opposed to this list of wishes because it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
Change is scary.
But it's necessary.
It
is.
is.
If you have to be realistic to yourself and be like, you know what, certain things has to change in my life to get me to where I want to be, to make me more happy in my life. Change has to. Sometimes you have to push yourself a little bit, do something a little bit to get, because at the end of the day, we have one life to live and you want to enjoy it to the fullest and not regret anything. And certain things we make mistakes, but it's the point of growing from it. and moving forward, but not just being submerged in it and pulled down in it and just sitting in it. And what does that do for you? You
Yeah.
know?
Because regret,
Yes. That's the worst.
that is the worst thing, regret. I think for me, the scariest words in the world are, I wish I could,
Yeah.
but I didn't. I wish I could have, but I didn't. Those are things that I never want to say. So that's why I live my life the way that I do. I never want to say, I wish I did it, I could have done it, and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So that regret is so, it scares me. So I have to be bold and I have to be courageous because I don't like being scared. I don't like that feeling. I was training the other day and it's not a difficult exercise. It's bicep curls. It's not a difficult exercise.
Depending on who you're working out with. Because I worked that one before. Somebody's trying to kill me. But hey, you feel good afterwards because you know you accomplished it. But go ahead. It's not complicated.
We love you, coach. We love you, coach. But there's something about that particular exercise. It just makes me want to run out of my skin. It's just so, I don't know. It's just whatever sensation it brings up. And my coach was like, Max, he was like, sit, stop moving back because you keep moving back.
Yep.
As the harder it becomes, the more you move back. You have to sit and literally take it. Like you've got to sit in it. Don't allow your body to move and just complete the movement.
And I realize it's all in the mind. If I realize if you it's all in the mind.
It is.
You have to really think like, I can do this. Your body says one thing, but your mind, if you set your mind to something else, it's like, you know what? I can do this.
I can
do this.
I am going to do it.
Right now I feel like I'm going to collapse.
Exactly.
Is my legs going to break? Is my arm, in your mind you think, but you're not. You're not. You just got to push yourself out of that comfort zone to get to that next level. And you feel good.
You do. When
you
you're done.
It's
You're
like, I did this?
I did this. You be flexing on people.
Yeah.
But
I did
I
this.
completed, but while I was doing it, I was like, I'm so
proud of
scared.
yourself.
You do. And that's the thing about being bold and being courageous. And it's about not so much being the loudest person in the room and being the boldest and I mean the brashest person, but being bold in your life, being courageous in your life. The thing that scares you the most is what you walk towards. As long as it's not like the killer or something like that. You don't walk towards the killer.
You. Turn around.
You hear those sounds? That means run. Don't go through that door. But being bold and being courageous in your purpose or being in your plan of attack, even when you are scared. And I don't like the feeling of being scared. So like whenever I'm scared, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. And then I'm like, okay, I don't like this feeling of being scared either. So either I like the discomfort or being scared. Which is it? Because both of them don't feel good.
You feel a little nervous. Sometimes people try to play it off like, I'm not scared. I'm like, come on. Everyone has their certain level of fear on some level. And once you kick down that door and you're like, you know what? I don't have to be fearful of that or nervous of that. You know what? I accomplished that. And you feel good. Until something else comes around that.
And there's another door. I just finished kicking down that door Sparta style, like the Sparta 300 style, sandal in the middle of the chest and everything. I've conquered it. And then
you gotta roll up your sleeve like, all right, Fear, I'm coming.
I'm coming. And then Fear's like, okay, no. And you're like, yeah, I got you. And then Fear's like, I come in another shape now.
Yeah. Sometimes you be like, you know what? That can stay right there. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that right now, but I'll come back.
I'll come back.
I'm gonna close that door a little bit. I'm not gonna make it change how I'm supposed to move.
Yeah.
Kind of slightly, but I'm gonna leave it right there. But I'll come back for you.
Sometimes you're like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready for that door.
There's nothing wrong with knowing that. Hey, I'm not ready right now for that. So
as long as you don't let it freeze you into place where you get locked into a space where you're just like, I can't move.
And then you can't do anything.
Yeah. So that position of fear, that roots you in place. So you always got to move forward. So, fam, today I have my guest, my sister, Trey Ballin.
Hola.
You can follow her on Instagram. She has a page called The Fitter Sisters 3. So you can find her there. And today we're just talking about being anti-resolutionist. We're celebrating the new year our way. The Ballin girl way.
Yes.
Being anti-resolutionist. And so you can find these tips on my website, thefitterwoman.com. So I have a list of those 5 tips, those 5 steps that you need to help you become an anti-resolutionist. Instead of making and what I mean, and it's not in a negative way, but it's just instead of being falling into this whole idea of, okay, every year I got to write this list of resolutions, the list of endless promises, you can just focus on key things, key actions
That you can do,
that you can do
which
that
are achievable.
that are achievable,
Yep.
setting achievable goals. How do you eat an elephant? How you eat an elephant, sis?
I didn't know you could eat it.
You can. You can
Can
eat
you?
an elephant one
Let-
bite at a time.
Oh, okay.
Eat an elephant one bite at a
That's a new
time.
one. I haven't heard that one before. That's interesting.
Yeah, I heard that from someone.
Oh.
I got it from somewhere. I can't remember who said it, but she said, How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So if you look at your goals, instead of having this big monumental, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds
In 1 week.
In 1 week. Yeah, you didn't gain it in 1 week. I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. No, I'm gonna start to eat better today.
Yep, making better choices.
I'm going to make a better choice today. I'm going to eat an apple as opposed to a Pop-Tart. Start with little achievable goals. I'm going to drink a glass of water because I don't normally drink water.
Instead of a can of soda in the morning. Because I do know people, they drink their can of
They
soda,
drink their
pop
soda.
or their juice, or they hate water. I'm like, come on, you got to do a little something.
Something.
And then now they have all these things that you could flavor. Yeah, you
All
can put
kinds
fruits
of-
in it, and
come
then they
up
have
with a
flavoring. And they
plan,
actually have
yeah.
healthier flavoring than the other ones that have all those artificial. So, adds a little jazz
They
up.
have
You can
all
jazz up
kinds
your
of
water.
apps on your phone, if you got a smartwatch or whatever the case may be. All these cool little apps that will remind you,
Yep.
I want to drink more water. If that's your goal, I want to drink more water. Let's think of some steps to help you drink more water. I can flavor the water. I can create a reminder on my phone that lets me know, it's time to drink some water. I can, let's say I went from drinking 1 glass to 2 glasses. Set small, bite-sized pieces that you can achieve so that you don't feel overwhelmed by this 100 promises.
Yeah.
So, fam, so we are going to transition over. I wanted to tell my sister, oh, hey, cuz. Jonathan's on. He's watching
up,
us.
cuz?
What up, cuz?
Happy New Year, cuz.
Happy New Year. So we were talking about this concept of community, right?
Yes.
This concept of having a support system. Why do you think it's so important for people to have a support system or support buddy?
I feel like you need that sense of support because sometimes there's a lot of times you can't go through things on your own, and especially if you know that you have a group of surrounding people that have pretty much the same idea, same path, you can help each other out, push each other, because eventually sometimes you end up something happens where you just stop moving and stop going towards whatever your goal is in life, and you have that person next to you being like, yo, wake up, do what you got to do. So it's good to have that support system. And at the same time, during your ups and downs, you have someone around you that can help you. Sometimes you might need a lending ear. Sometimes you might need some good advice or whatever it is. But and this is the point of not feeling like you're alone. For me, I feel like not feeling that sense of that you're alone and what do you call it? Having that sense of family, either blood related or not. But I feel like a community is good. It's a positive support system.
Now, how do you think people can go about finding this supportive community? Like finding what do you think would be your ways, your criterias to find a supportive community? Because there are lots of little communities, lots of little groups, but not every group is for everybody. So how do you figure that out? Who your group is?
I don't know. I mean, I guess for me is I surround myself with positive people. So that's my group right there. I mean, other times you can meet one person and that person could have a whole bunch of positive people where you can end up being part of as well. I mean, now everything's all online and social media, so there's a lot of chat groups and things like that. People can look and trying out different groups because if something doesn't suit you or you surround yourself with somebody or you go somewhere and it doesn't fit you, there's nothing wrong with stepping back and being like, okay, this is not good, or creating your own circle.
Correct.
Because sometimes you could be that one person that could initiate it and talk to a friend and talk to somebody else because you pretty much have a feel of the people that are around you, the close people that are around you. the understanding of what it is and who you can approach to be part of your circle, you know?
You know, it's interesting you say that, fam, that I have my barber.
Yeah.
We were talking about networking a couple years ago. I'm like, it's so difficult for me to network. I'm just not finding the kind of people I want to network with. And he looked at me, he says, so why don't you create your own network?
Yeah. If you
I
can't
was
find
like,
anything, make it.
That's what he
Create
said.
it.
If you can't find it, then create what it is that you want. And I just looked at him because had been attending different networking events. I'm like, it's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I want. And he said, then create your own. And it was so simple, such a simple statement.
It's like, why didn't I think about that?
Exactly. And
But it's true.
And it's true. I said,
Yeah.
well, I have my circle of people, circle of friends that I've connected with and communicated with. Why not create my own network? Because you're always going to associate with people that you feel are like-minded anyway.
Yep, exactly.
So that's what I started to do, was reach out to my network and do different things and different projects with them.
And you know the other people that want to do the same thing and they're
Correct.
having the same issue, and you'll be like, you know what, you're having the same issue that I am. Why don't we connect together
Correct.
and create a community, a positive community of whatever it is that that it's about, you know?
to have that. So
Yeah.
that's why one of the reasons why I created the Fitter Woman University. The Fitter Woman University is just because of that. Because I realized in my own life how much community was so important. Community, family, my family is important to
It
me.
grounds you.
You know, that keeps me
pushes you.
grounded. It pushes you. When you start to fall off and you feel overwhelmed, your family is like, yo, relax. Like if I'm pushing too much, my sister will be like, you need to sit down
Yeah, you need to
someplace.
relax because she does a lot. I'm like, you know, it's okay to sit down for a minute. You know, it's okay to sleep a little longer. You don't have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning every single day. You know, you don't have work today, right? So that's how I'm like, you can sleep for a little, like 2 hours extra, like a little. But she always, I gotta do something. You know, if you know,
Yeah.
time is wasted. But I mean, but it's good to sit down for a little bit and
Correct.
relax and enjoy life. Everybody's always moving. And a lot of, you know, we have a lot of things that are going on. Yeah, family, friends, a lot of things, relationships. It's always a lot. Work. And sometimes you got to sit down and enjoy life. Sit down and enjoy the things that you worked hard to get.
It's true.
You know how many
if
friends
you
I
work-
have? They have houses, but they always at work. I'm like, you got a beautiful house, but they always at work and they always
Yeah.
trying to do this and that. I'm like, yo, enjoy it.
Enjoy what it is that
Enjoy
you're
it.
working for,
Yeah.
you know, just to make that time. And you need people around you to remind you of that. So let me just welcome you all back. Welcome to Muscles and Stilettos. It's a show whose purpose is to share tips, strategies on how to become your best and healthiest self. Here on the show, I'll be connecting you to fitness professionals and just connecting you to other people who share in your journey, such as my sister, share in your story, so that you know that you are not alone. So many of us feel that we are alone in what it is that we're going through. And just to let you know that there are others like you. And today is our special New Year's edition. So we're here for an hour. How much time we got, Bobby?
You have almost 15 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
Time flies.
See, we're having so much fun.
We are.
Time
We're
is just
having a lot of
flying.
fun. Oh my goodness. So here on this part of the show, I wanted to really talk to you guys about Fitter Woman University and the purpose of it. And the purpose of it is to provide you a community of people that are going through the same journey, different paths, but the same journey to becoming your best selves. We're going to show you, we're going to educate you about nutrition as it pertains to you. Because there's a lot of diets out there, and this one-size-fit-all thing does not work because every body
It's different.
different.
Sometimes you can, and you know people, they'll do one thing, it works for that one friend, and then you try it, like, nah, this is not for me, and it doesn't work for you. So it's the point of finding that best fit for you,
Yeah.
and that what works for you.
And that's what that program, the university is about, helping you to find out what best works for you. So we'll start you off at a basic foundation. There's certain things we're going to teach you in terms of nutrition, in terms of gut health, which is super important. So we're going to show you these things, and then we're going to then now craft a eating style. I don't want to say diet, an eating style that is
Lifestyle.
for
Yeah.
your lifestyle. Then we're going to show you fitness programs, different ways of staying active and moving around and not having to go to the gym if you don't have time. So showing you flexible ways of doing that. And then the last part is you're going to have the support of myself, who's a health coach, certified health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and a certified nutritionist. So we're going to sit with you and now look through everything that it is that your challenges and create a program that's specific to your needs. And then you're going to have me, I'm going to be calling you every week. We're going to have a group conversation and talk about those challenges. Did you have a rough day today? What were your cravings today? Why were you craving? Because all of these feelings come from something. You're not crazy. If the sugar munch, like you say, I'm quitting sugar, and you take out all the sugar in your life and you're like, I'm done. Guess what? It's going to come back.
Come get you. You feel like a withdrawal.
Exactly.
You know, where those cookies at?
Cookie. Where the cookie?
And then you end up eating more than what you normally would eat. And it's like, wow.
Because you tore something out.
And
of
people
your
don't realize
life.
that.
No. Because we're taught this whole quick fix thing, this quick dieting thing.
But they don't educate you a lot of times.
It doesn't.
They tell
you're gonna
you
drink
eat
3
that,
shakes.
but then the understanding behind it, why?
Right. Well, why shouldn't I eat
Why
this?
shouldn't I eat that?
You know, and putting everybody on a 700-calorie diet, hello, you can't do that. You know, especially if you're living a lifestyle that is going to take in 2,000 calories.
And if you're really active, you're going to burn right through that.
You're going to burn right through that, and then your body's going to stall, and then you're going to start gaining weight because your body's the smartest thing in the world. It's going to say, well, I'm being starved, so I'm going to hold on to every little thing that you eat. So that's when you hear, but I eat well.
Oh, I don't eat much, and I don't understand why I'm not losing weight.
Exactly.
I'm gaining weight.
Once a day. Unless your body's adapted and trained to eat once a day, and you just decided to up and eat once a day, that's not going to work either. So this is what it is about being educated, as opposed to being told, here's a list of things you're going to do. We don't tell you the reasons why. You lose the weight, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Come on. You know, so the Fitter Woman University is all about educating you. By the time you're done with the Fitter Woman University, you will know your body like the back of your hand. You will not be, I don't want lifelong clients. I've never wanted lifelong clients. I want lifelong community. So you can support each other as everybody comes in, as more people come in to the community. So we want you to be part of a bigger family. So I wanted to bring my sister on because she is part of the first cohort of the Fitter Woman University. Applaud, applaud, applaud.
I'm looking forward to this journey. I'm definitely am, you know, because it comes to a point where sometimes, you know, sometimes there are people that are able to do what they need to do on their own. And then other times you get up to a certain extent and it's like, yo, I need help. I can't do, and this is where I am because I've been up and down with my weight. After college, with 15 years, I'll lose a lot, then gain, then lose, then gain, but never achieve that goal weight. And it's like, why is it all this up and down? Why can't I be consistent? Why do I start off hard and I'm like, I'm all good. I'm at the gym and I'm doing what I got to do. And something always tends to happen. And that's what happens in life. You either get sick, you end up going to an event, you end up eating something. And there's times that you make good choices and there's times that you make bad choices. And for me, I would say snacking is the devil. Snacking is the devil. Because, you know, you'll eat a little something. Because sometimes people are like, oh, eat something healthy. And some people, they can. They'll eat carrot stick or whatever they want to do, grass in front of the house, whatever that's healthy for them. But then you end up wanting to eat something else. Because I know for me, I have to shut it down because if I end up eating a little something, then I'm gonna want to eat something else, then something else, then something else. And then by the time I get to bed, I got a belly full of food. And I'm sleeping and it's sitting in my stomach until the next day. So snacking is the devil, man. I'm telling you, these little snacks, they get you in trouble.
You know
these
what?
100 calories. Then you end up eating a couple of those packets and it's not 100 calories anymore. But it happens. Trust me. I have my friends, my friends, and they say the same thing. It's like, and then if you work in an office, oh my gosh. They
everything is there.
Oh,
listen,
my
the
gosh,
holidays, I saw
everything.
cakes and cookies and all kinds of stuff come up across that. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, snacking is, the last time an adult should snack is kindergarten. We've been taught to this snacking thing, and we never give our bodies a break to absorb whatever foods. But for me, it would be if I'm tired and I'm trying to stay up, and I just start. That's why I can't have certain things in my house. Like I'll tend to go for.
That helps when you don't have.
Yeah,
you just don't buy it.
Don't buy it. I just don't have it in my house. So when you come to my house, people are like, yo, do you have real people food? I do. I buy them when I know you're coming. If you're not coming,
and then take it with you,
and make you take it with you because I'm human. If there's something there, be like, I'm gonna watch this movie
Yeah,
and
let me pinch a
snack
little
on
bit
it.
of that, and then pinch
Next
a
thing you
little
know,
of
pinch,
that,
and next thing you
and then
know,
you got to pinch until a handful, and then in a bowl. I'm like,
remember
what's
that
going on?
bread when we were in Barbados?
Oh my
God,
gosh.
we found this bread. Quick aside, we found this bread in Barbados.
It's like a raisin bread.
Oh my
It
gosh.
comes in a large loaf. And it's
goodness.
funny because I was like, I got one loaf, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pace myself because we were working out when we were there, which
Yeah,
was
we
a
were.
good thing, and the
We
weather
were.
was nice. And I would come back, I'm like, yo, where's the rest of this bread? And of course, somebody, and you would think I'm more full figured. I was the one that ate most of the bread. No, it
I
was
ate that
somebody
bread.
over here, but that bread was good.
That bread was
We
lethal.
we ended up getting it, I think, one more time to leave
Yeah.
to go home. But after that, we were like,
Nah, we can't be eating this bread because we're trying to eat well and we're
Yeah,
active.
that bread is
Yeah, because we went to
dangerous.
Barbados Carnival and we were like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
bread.
'Cause-
But anyway.
yeah, exactly. If
Get
you
back.
know it's something like that, you stay.
Don't have that stuff in your
Don't
house.
have it in your house. No.
So, sis, a lot of times people set these wellness goals and they talk about wanting to be healthy. What is your definition of healthy? What does that mean
For
to
me,
you?
healthy is emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Because if you're not thinking the same way, or if you're depressed, you're sad, you're upset, sometimes you end up wanting to grab something to comfort you. But if you're thinking well and you're feeling well, then you're making better choices. Then you're choosing to make better choices, and then from there it reflects on how you physically feel, and then you feel more energy. So I feel like it comes as a cluster, emotionally, physically, mentally, everything when it comes to being healthy overall. Because you have to think well to feel well, to choose to make better choices. Then you can physically feel well and make the better choices and eat the food that's nurturing your body instead of destroying your body. So
Really good definition
Yeah.
of what it means to be healthy. And because we all have our own definition of healthy. So when you're sharing with a personal trainer or nutritionist, hey, I want to be healthy, you have to be specific
And
saying
honest.
and honest with yourself. What does that mean to you so that you can now tell that to the person? What is it that you're looking for after working with them? What would you say? You were talking about this, your weight going up and down and never being able to really find a steady weight. Would you say that's the biggest challenge for you? Like,
yeah, being consistent, and another thing, being consistent and having more control over the choices I make. I feel like right now I have no, like, just self-control in regards to what I eat and how much I eat. So just basically not maintaining my weight, trying to lose the weight, being consistent with it, seeing it through the end. Because that'll be something that's an issue for me. Where I'll start something, I'm good for a while, and then I get to a point, I'm like, all right, I'm good, and then I fall off, or something happens, and then I fall off. So it's just being more consistent and making better choices and feeling like you're in control. Because right now I feel like I'm out of control, and this is where I am. And now I'm at the point where it's like, you know what? I can't do it on my own. I need my community. I need help. I need somebody to guide me and figure out why am I keep on doing the same thing I'm doing over and over and over again, and I'm not getting anywhere.
Correct.
And sometimes you need someone outside looking in, and because certain things you don't realize that you do.
You don't.
Why you do the things you do, why you eat the things you do, when you eat the things you do, during the time frame, and you point it out, and you feel it physically. You feel it. You feel it.
And it's interesting because we have 5 women in this cohort, and I purposely kept it small because I want to help people be their best self, because just like I'm part of a small community, and I feel like when you have small communities, it can be intimate and you can really pay attention. But just being able to find exactly what your triggers are. Like, I've had to identify those triggers within myself. Oh, fam, we running out of time. We running out of time. 4 minutes. So just being able to find those triggers and being able to say, okay, why can I not be consistent? Because there are times in my life where I'm not consistent. So I've had to find ways and methods to become consistent, creating a to-do list and creating checkbacks, creating a system where I say, hey, I need to do X, Y, Z. Can you please call me and make sure I've done X, Y, Z to
Yeah.
have that system in place? I know we're running out of time, but I wanted you to leave our family with this. We all go through a transformative moment in our lives, that cataclysmic moment that signifies a change. What was that change for you? And if you could go back to your pre-transformative self, what would you say?
That's a good question. I mean, for me, I'm always telling myself, don't give up. I think I would have now and looking back, I would have reached out probably to my sister a little sooner, much sooner, or asked whoever that was around at that time frame for help, and realizing that because sometimes people feel vulnerable and they feel like they're weak, or I don't know, they always feel like they can do it on their own or they know everything, but you don't. And it's okay to let people in, but positive people in your life. So pretty much, it's okay to ask for help, and don't give up on yourself, and stay focused on what you want in life, and make a plan for yourself and to how to achieve it. But I always feel like with life, there's always experience and you learn,
Yeah.
and it's never too late to make a change in your life for the positive. So
Absolutely.
hopefully that answers it.
No, you did. You answered it
Oh,
beautifully.
okay.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
definitely answered the question. And I think we want to leave you all with this. There's as long as there's breath in your lungs,
Exactly.
as long as there's breath in your lungs, you are not 6 feet underground, you can make a change. You can find your purpose. And by having that goal of I'm going to be my best self and creating a plan for that best self, you will achieve that.
And you never know where that journey might take you.
Oh my gosh. You know, your journey is taking you here to a place where you can share that story.
Exactly.
Because
So-
your story comes from one perspective. My story comes from a different perspective. And, you know, whomever hears this, hopefully that will trigger something in them so that they can now start to make changes in their lives and ask for help. Because that is hard.
Yeah, it
to
is
ask
hard.
for help.
It
to
is
say,
hard.
I'm at a point where I need help. That's very difficult for me.
And knowing that you asking the right person for help,
Yes.
because sometimes people take advantage of you.
Correct.
And I'm not having that.
Yes. So make sure you do your research. When you're asking for help, do your research.
Research,
Make
yeah.
sure the person is genuine.
Because people take advantage of people when they're in a weak point
Yeah.
and in their life, and they run with it. So
Correct.
so,
Ask questions.
Yeah, ask questions. If it
Hey,
doesn't feel right, go with your gut.
yes, your gut will
Listen.
never lie.
Yep.
People will lie. Your gut won't. So with that, Fit Fam, I want to thank you for joining us on our special New Year's Day special. And the edition was all about being anti-resolutionist.
Resolution.
We're going to celebrate the new year differently. I want you to stay tuned. If all the information that we talked about today, especially the steps, you can find it on my webpage, thefitterwoman.com. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm at The Fitter Woman. My sister is The Fitter Sisters 3. So if you have any questions, you can either drop it here on Facebook, you can email me, you can message me, you can message her. And we hope that you have a wonderfully blessed new year. Be bigger, be fitter, be stronger.
Keep doing it until you get it right.
Good night, Fit Fam.
Good night.